Hey there, this is Kalen Huntras with Pura Vida Multimedia, and I'm going to show you how to use the Client Analysis Spreadsheet to make better decisions about what kind of clients you want to take with your business. Let's find out who the most profitable kind of client is that you can take so that you can get more of those clients, okay? And we do that by finding out your hourly rate per client. And so to use this spreadsheet, you can find it at bit.ly/client-analysis. You can get to the template, and you'll need to make a copy for yourself in order to edit any of the data. So go to File and make a copy, and then you'll make a copy for yourself in Google Drive, okay? But don't just delete all of this data here, because there are some formulas that you're going to want to preserve. And I'll go through these formulas and how they work, and show you how to track your data to make these kinds of decisions. I've got a sheet here for my current clients that I'm working with right now, the complete clients that I've already completed their contract, the hours worked per client, and the expenses that I spent per client, okay? And this is all the data that you need to calculate your hourly rate per client. So let's start by adding a client, and I'll show you how this all works. So Captain America has decided to hire me to make a website for him for $5,000, okay? Now, before I get to the hours worked and the expenses, I'm just going to copy some formulas over. I'm going to copy the expense ratio cell, Command C to Command V to paste it down there. Or if you're on a Windows, it's Control C and Control V, and you copy the formulas over. And the source is a good thing to track, because this will help you figure out, are my best clients all coming from referrals? Are they all coming from my website? These are things that you want to know. And he found me through my website. So I'm going to put that in there. And we started on the 1st of August, and we are estimating it's going to take 90 days. Okay, so I have my estimated completion date, and I copy this last formula, paste it in, and we're looking at 92 days. Okay. Now, to figure out my hours worked and to track this data, I need to enter a new column for Captain America here. And I've got in this blue row the names of all my clients. Okay? And then I have the totals of the hours worked, and it's automatically calculated up here at the top. Every week I just have to log, I worked 12 hours this week for him, 5 hours that week, 14 the next week, and so on, and this will automatically update. So I can go to my current client sheet, and in this cell, the hours worked for Captain America, I hit equals, okay? I go to the hours worked sheet, and I hit this cell right up here on the top, and I hit enter. And now this number will dynamically update. As I log my hours in the hours worked sheet, it's going to automatically update this number. And so every week, all I have to do is go in and put in the time that I've been tracking throughout the week. If you're looking for time tracking, FreshBooks has a really good add-on. There's other apps that you can use on your desktop to track your hours per project. There's another blog post on that coming soon. For expenses, we do the same thing, okay? On the expenses, I'm going to put in Captain America here, so this is his column. And let's say one week I spent $145, and then $350, and then $75, okay? And so this number is automatically going to update, and that's the number that I want here for expenses for Captain America. I hit equals, I go to the expenses sheet, and I hit the correct cell and hit enter, and it's already in there. The expense ratio is the percentage that you spend on subcontractors, on licenses, on everything that you need to spend money on to finish a project, okay? And when you track this number, the average is going to be very useful, because that'll tell you how much to earmark when you bid out a project. If you know you're averaging a 20% expense ratio and you put out a bid for $2,000, you know how much money to set aside right at the beginning of the project. It's really useful to know. Your net profit is your revenue minus your expenses. This is how much you get to keep. And when we divide this by the hours worked, we get your hourly rate per client. On your current client sheet, this number is not going to be accurate, because you're still logging hours, right? And so this number is going to change until your current clients become complete clients. And then this is where you can really make good assessments with your data, because it's complete data. The contract's done. All the money's been spent, all the hours have been logged, and so you know that this data is right. And when you look at the average of what your hourly rate has been for the clients you've had in the past, then you know what you can quote for the future, okay? And if this number starts getting low, if your average hourly rate starts getting below your stated hourly rate, you know that you have some decisions to make about the kind of clients that you take, or else some things aren't going right in your business, right? So let's say that we finish out one client. Let's say Dr. Doom, let's say he's not $6,000, he's $3,000 because he ended a contract 3 months early because he's a jerk. That's why he's got Doom in his name. And so it's 90 days, okay? And so we're all done. We know that this row is complete. So I'm going to Control X to cut this row, and I'm just going to paste it right here, okay? And so that's how you transfer a current client to a complete client. And once you're here, you could start making some really interesting assessments about your clients. Let's take a look at the Hulk. His project was $4,500. It's the largest project I have on this sheet. But the hourly rate is half what I was paid for working with Iron Man. Let's take a look at why. I worked more hours with the Hulk, and my expenses were a whole lot more. So even though this is a bigger contract, my expense ratio was twice as much as my other contracts. My net profit wasn't that much higher. And so for working all these extra hours, I actually have a lower hourly rate working with the Hulk. And so when you look at this data, you can say, okay, what kind of clients are giving me my highest average hourly rate, and what clients are giving me my lowest hourly rate? And then go after the clients that pay you the most money, I'll give you an example. I started going after social media clients last year because I wanted to do ghost blogging and post statuses to Facebook and spend a lot of time in Buffer. And I was like, let's just do this a whole lot. And I found that my social media clients had a much lower hourly rate than my website redesign clients. So now I focus exclusively on website redesign clients, and I make more money in less time, And making smart decisions is all about how to run a business well and make more money in less time. I've also got some other sheets here that you might find useful. This revenue sheet can help you track your revenue for every quarter. And I just put in 4 for 2013, but if you want to change these around, you can change the date in the first cell, and all the rest of them will update. We track the new revenue in, the invoices out, and the proposals. If you track your proposals out, then you can calculate your closing ratio. And a closing ratio is great because if you want to make, $5,000 this month, and you know that your closing ratio is 50%, then put out $10,000 worth of proposals, and the law of averages says that you should make your number. And I've also got plenty of averages here in this last sheet for the annual report. It pulls all the data from the quarterly sheets so that you can see at a glance what your revenue is for every month, what your average revenue is for the quarter, what your closing ratio is per month, and your hours worked. So there's a lot of data in here, lots of formulas that get kind of complicated. If you're trying to manipulate these and you run into some problems, you can drop me an email. It's here on the last page. There's also a link to my newsletter, Laptop Living, and I send out tips and tricks every month on how to run a business from anywhere in the world. So Laptop Living is a great email newsletter. I highly encourage you to subscribe. And I hope that this spreadsheet helps you get more of the better clients for you. So my name's Kalen Huntress with Pura Vida Multimedia. Good luck out there.